Hey boxing fans, welcome to the 8-Count Boxing Hour. Let's get right into the action now. Crosstown rivalry. Marty, the machine gun Mauler Maestas, taking on Rudy Chavez. Both men looking for their first pro victory. But first, let's meet one of the fighters and go to the weigh-in.
Rudy Chavez, go ahead and get on. What is your weight, Rudy? Rudy Chavez, 139. 139. Make sure you guys get your physicals now. Marty Maestas, sube. Marty Maestas, 140. 140.
Okay, boxing fans, we're ready to rock and roll here. We got the machine gun Mauler, Marty Maestas. He'll be taking on Rudy Chavez coming up here on the 8-Count Boxing Hour. You're going to see it in just a few minutes, but before we go to that fight, we're at the weigh-in the day before the fight. Marty is going to talk to us a little bit. And Marty, how's your pro career been going so far? I know you got 3 pro fights under your belt. Do you feel like a professional now?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been doing good because, you know, I just got a restraining order on me from my ex-girlfriend, and she doesn't mean well. She'll come back to earth, I think, I hope. And that's been bothering me a lot. That's probably why I've been, you know, I have 1 draw and 2 losses, but it's because I've been concentrating basically on my son, and now that things are going good now, I'm getting strong. I think I'm going to win this fight.
Okay, well, let's go back to the very beginning, your pro debut. I was there live. It was a great fight against Jacob Romero, crosstown rivalry. Man, that was one heck of a fight. Really, that was the best fight of the night, and we had Buster Mathis Jr. and all kinds of good fighters on that card, but you guys stole the show. The fight was ended up as a draw. How did you feel about that decision?
Well, I like Jacob a lot. He's really cool, so it really didn't bother me in that sense. To tell you the truth, I analyzed the film. I saw it over and over and over and over. At first, I thought I won because I dropped him in the 3rd round. But then if you really study it accurately, he beat me in the 2nd round. The 1st round was close. The 3rd round, he was beating me, but then I dropped him. Right. Then the 4th round was equal, or maybe I went over him a little bit. So he had 2 rounds and I had 2 rounds, so I call it a draw, so I'm not hurt.
Okay, well, the main thing is that it was a good, exciting fight, and now you're going to be facing Rudy Chavez tomorrow night, and are you familiar with Rudy at all?
Yeah, I sure am. Yeah, I've known him from, you know, places, you know, that's about it. I've seen him at the Tough Man. He won the Tough Man contest. You know, he has a good heart. I mean, he's a good person. You know, he's just doing it for the sport, not to be egotistically somebody on top of the house on somebody else, you know. He's just doing it like me, you know. Just sport.
Just having fun with the sport.
Right, exactly. No grudges.
Okay, now, were you in attendance during his fights at the Tough Man contest? Because he was very impressive at those fights. Were you there? Did you see him in action live? And did you think you might be fighting him one day?
I never thought I'd ever be fighting him. Stablemate of mine fought him in the amateurs, Ray Zamora, and I figured that fight could have went either way. Rudy looked really good in the amateurs, really fast, really, you know, his timing was accurate. And the Tough Man, he blew my mind, and, you know, I never thought I'd fight him. I mean, he doesn't bother me because I know that I fought different types of styles on the streets. I fought big bodybuilders, I fought, you name it, all kinds of cultures, black, white, purple, doesn't matter. I'm like I say, I'm an artist. I like to paint, and the way I paint is the way my personality is. I can change from any style to another style. You know, camouflage, boom, that's my That's my trademark, Camouflage, Machine Gun Mauler, and that's...
Okay, that brings me to my next question. You're now the Machine Gun Mauler. At one time, we carried one of your amateur fights on the 8-count boxing hour, and I referred to you as the human windmill because, man, you had punches flying nonstop. Exactly. Has your style kind of changed since you turned pro and since you became the Machine Gun Mauler?
Yeah, it has. It's slowed down a lot. I had to slow myself down because my punches were just tip-taps. I mean, they weren't even... I mean, I got TKO on that one, I remember, when I fought Tony Guerrero from Denver, Colorado. Dorio has slowed me down a lot where I'm hitting harder now. In my 2 pro fights, I've already dropped 2 people in the 3rd round. Jacob and Kevin Lowther, Denver, Colorado, and that was a 147. And the one in Phoenix, Arizona, I mean, I had a broken thumb. The newspaper article over-exaggerated saying I had a broken hand, and I didn't. I had a broken thumb. I was using my jab. I was winning the fight until I threw my right, and the first thing that hit was my thumb, and that bothered me, and he got me to the body, and I went down. I couldn't come back. That's what happened.
Okay, so tomorrow night you'll be taking on Rudy Chavez. As a matter of fact, for you people, you'll be seeing it right now. So let's go to that action at Tingley Coliseum. Rudy Chavez and Marty, the Machine Gun Mauler Maestas, in action. Thank you, Marty.
Thank you.
Okay, boxing fans, we're coming to you now from the Tingley Coliseum. We're just about ready to get underway here. Marty Maestas taking on Rudy Chavez in this battle of over the weight limit lightweights, actually junior welterweights. There you're looking at Marty, the Machine Gun Mauler Maestas, climbing into the ring, followed by his trainer manager Oriol Chavez. Referee Al Martinez takes a look at Marty, the Machine Gun Mauler Maestas, who you just saw in that opening interview. Marty coming into this bout with a record of 0-2-1. His first fight was a draw against Jacob Romero. That fight was on the undercard of Buster Mathis Jr. and Ackley. That fight taking place at the New Mexico State Fairgrounds, the Lujan building. Went over satellite broadcast worldwide. And Maestas and Romero putting on a real good fight there, ending up in a draw. Marty did drop Romero in that fight, but Romero coming back to pull out the draw. And he'll be taking on Rudy Chavez, who trains with Danny Romero's Hideout Boxing Club, the gym in the backyard of the world champion Danny Romero. And right now you're looking at Rudy Chavez coming down the aisle here at Tingley, getting ready to climb into the ring to face Marty Maestas. Should be a good one. Crosstown rivalry, 2 Albuquerque fighters. And for all the information on these two, let's go up to the ring announcer, and that's the one and only Mike Adams.
And your referee in charge of tonight's action, Mr. Tony Rosales. Introducing the combatants. First, in the red corner, he has a professional record of 0 wins, 2 losses, and 1 draw. He hails from the beautiful city of Albuquerque, New Mexico. He's wearing the camouflage trunks with the red trim. He goes by the name of the Machine Gun, Marty Maestas! Introducing his opponent, in the blue corner. He has a professional record of 0 wins, 0 losses with 1 draw. He's wearing the black trunks with the black trim. He's out of the Hideout Gymnasium in Danny Romero's backyard. He goes by the name of Rudy Chavez!
there's the bell for round one. We're underway here at the Tingley Coliseum. Dan Cisneros at ringside. You're watching the 8-count boxing hour. You're looking at two young Albuquerque fighters. Marty Maestas in the camouflage trunks with the red fringe. His opponent, Rudy Chavez, in the black trunks. Both men looking for their first win as a professional. Marty Maestas with a record of 0-2-1. And Rudy Chavez coming into this bout with a record of no wins, no losses, and 1 draw. His pro debut right here at Tingley Coliseum. That was against kickboxer Fernie Morales. And, oh, Maestas gets rocked with a right hand and goes down immediately. Ooh, big right hand from Rudy Chavez. So Maestas just getting into the fight here, gets caught with a right. He got up, he's clearing his head now. Referee Tony Rosales gives him the mandatory 8-count. And he comes forward, and the fight will continue. As I was saying, Fernie Cayeros was the one that fought Rudy Chavez, and that was a draw. Great action fight. And so both men looking for their first win, and now Maestas comes back with a combination of the body, and Rudy Chavez has him hurt still. I don't know if Maestas has fully recovered from that first knockdown. A big right hand. Maestas in the camouflage trunks was the state ABF champion at 139. Turning pro and fighting his first fight in Albuquerque, and then fighting in Denver and Phoenix, Arizona. And now you see Maestas go to work on the body here, and he tries to come back upstairs with some shots, and Rudy Chavez very calmly putting the pressure on him. There's a big right hand. Again, Rudy Chavez now has Maestas on the ropes, and Maestas trying to fight his way off the ropes. Good action here, Maestas and Rudy Chavez, and down goes Maestas for the second time. Again, the right hand, and Rudy Chavez puts Marty Maestas down. Referee Tony Rosales again gives him the standing mandatory 8-count. And the fight continues. 3 knockdown rule is in effect, so one more time for Marty and he will be out of here quick. So 2 knockdowns puts Maestas really in the hole here as far as the scoring goes. And again, the right hand kind of hurts him. And now you see Rudy Chavez put the pressure on. Oh, and a left hand to the body. A body shot puts Maestas down, and that will be it for this fight. Marty Maestas is out. 3 knockdown rule, and that body shot really has him hurt. So Rudy Chavez, very impressive tonight here, opening up the 8-count boxing hour here at Tingley Coliseum. Rudy with a wicked left hand to the body after a couple of big rights to the head. Real impressive. And Rudy Chavez, who was a tough man champion of Albuquerque, he went through that tough man tournament like a hot knife through butter, and then went on to turn pro and fought a tremendous, wicked fight. 4-round draw against Fernie Cayeros. And now he takes on Marty Maestas, who may have been a little bit stunned by the big crowd here at Tingley Coliseum. This is on the undercard of the Danny Romero Jose Quirino fight. There you see Maestas saying he's okay to the crowd. But I think that the big crowd may have kind of overwhelmed him a little bit. And Rudy Chavez had been through this before, fighting on a Romero undercard, and just real impressive tonight. And right now, let's make it official. Let's go up to the ring announcer, and that's the one and only Mike Adams.
At 217 of round number 1, winner by TKO, Rudy Chavez.
At 217 of the first round, Albuquerque's Rudy Chavez with a first-round knockout, 3 knockdown rule over Marty Maestas. A great action fight, and congratulations to Rudy Chavez.